All right, so what we're going to look at now is something called shadows. We looked at styles. Now we're going to look at shadows. So the idea is that by default your SketchUp model doesn't have shadows, but I can click this little, looks like a little book, and it will turn on shadows in the model and greatly add to the realism of what's happening inside the model. And I can actually adjust the time, and when it adjusts the time and the date, it will adjust the length of the shadows. Okay. And then I can choose how light or dark the shadows actually are. And then I can just choose whether the shadows are cast on the faces, on the ground, or from the edges. Okay, and I can turn those all three on, or I can turn those off and just use the sun for shading. And you'll see that if I turn this off and use sun for shading, it's going to cast the shadows, but only the shadow from, let's turn these on, turn this off, from that, for, on the model itself. Okay, so that is how I turn on, edit, and use shadows. It greatly adds to the realism in your model, but it also increases rendering time significantly. So the best thing to do is to edit your model, and then when you're done, before you export or before you render or make an animation, is to turn on your shadows. And that's your shadows panel. That's what this does.